Welcome back to the channel, folks. Thank you for joining another Steam Deck OLED versus Steam Deck LCD comparison. Today, we're going to take a look at MultiVersus. MultiVersus is the re-release of MultiVersus Beta, which was about a year and a half ago, I think it was. And it's finally come out, and it runs pretty well. It's not verified on either of the Steam Decks, but that's okay. And you know, quite honestly, I think if it gets verified on one, it's going to be verified on the other. But neither of those things are happening yet. And looking at this, the game runs pretty nice just with basic defaults. You don't have to use any protons or anything like that. You can jump in. They already have their nice profiles for controllers. Oops, this one's got to click through. There we go. And then let's back out. To do these online comparisons, I need to have my kid's account as well, who is not a kid really anymore. But we're using their account just for these types of online comparisons. And the nice thing is, it is a free-to-play game. So you can start off just checking it out. You can just go download the game right now from Steam on your Steam Deck, and you can just start playing right away. You create an account on WB, which links your Steam account, and you're ready to go. And at that point, you get access to Shaggy. I believe you also get timed access to Bugs Bunny. There's one more character, and we'll look at it when we get in here. Now, my account, which is on the LCD right now, has tickets and extra fighters and all sorts of stuff because I had bought the premium beta pass back in 22, I believe it was, is when they did the beta. And Zoe's account here does not have that. It is basically just the free-to-play account that you can get. And we'll take a look at the characters that they have access to right now, and we'll get a chance to play it. But they are running on the OLED, and you can see there's a 60 and a 90 degree or 90 frame per second difference. Degree, I don't know why I'd say that, but frames per second is the major difference there. So here's all your dailies and all your weekly missions and your Jokeroos, which is the current Rift path node, I think they call it, maybe node. We'll take a look at the whole thing, but just to look here right now, if we go in to fighters, again, I have a little bit different access down here, but this is the basic free account up here. You get Shaggy, you get timed access to Bugs Bunny, time access to, is that Finn from Adventure Time? And then time access to LeBron James, and then Wonder Woman. So these would go away. I'm not sure if they switch those around, if you get to play somebody else later on down the road, but you always have one character, which is Shaggy right here, down on mine. I have some others unlocked because I have the Battle Pass that they gave me for free. I have like Banana Guard for logging in, Harley Quinn, which I had picked up, Joker, Shaggy, Wonder Woman, Freddy, which is part of the Battle Pass. Or, sorry, not Freddy, Jason. I don't know why I keep saying Freddy. I've said that to multiple people. LeBron. I did pick up Marvin the Martian from our Saturday weekly factor. And then Finn and Bugs, timed access to those as well. Wonder Woman I do own. So, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. You do have cosmetics as well that you can pick up. Different backgrounds, different effects when you win or lose, just different effects overall, taunts, things like that. So tons of cosmetics. I mean, the game is obviously built as a service, right? So you can go in and keep changing it. There's the Battle Pass. Now, Zoe doesn't have access to the Battle Pass. I do here. And then you have your events. Oops, events. These are the different ones going on. There's the Agent Smith event in the Rift. There's the Jokeroos. There's the Welcome Back Daily Login. And then the Flower Pledge Drive. And all of these get you various different currencies. And then also you can go into missions, which we looked at when we first saw it. You have the store itself. Obviously, lots of stuff you can go in and purchase with real money or with multiple currencies. It is quite, how would you say, complex in terms of the way the currencies operate and what you're getting. And then you ultimately have your career information here. So we can go ahead and jump back. And this is going to be a little bit trickier. I tried to figure out how best to kind of show performance, but let's take a look at settings first on both devices. Now they should be similar. I think I have them both set to medium. Let's go down to graphics. There we go. Here is kind of the layout of the settings. They're both on windowed full screen, best quality, so there's no upscaling. There is vertical sync turned off. We've also got 1 frame lag turned off. Oops, I think we gotta go over here. Let's go ahead. Everything's set to the medium preset. And we can kind of see that as we go down through. Lots of different capable adjustments that you can make. You can even do an auto detect if you want. But basically, the devices as it's playing right now are on the same level. So the performance should be the best for each of the devices, respectively 90 frames per second on the OLED, 60 frames per second on the LCD. And what we'll do here, we'll jump into riffs. And I'm not going to connect up, we're not going to play each other or jump into the same lobby, I think, is what they state in here. And then you've got Rift Detective. These are the different ones that you can kind of run through. But for example, we'll both jump into number 2 and we'll go easy, let it load up. And we'll just take the first little episode or little node here, which is the gremlin. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Now, I think probably best to just use Shaggy in both of these. Go ahead. You can see I have one of the cosmetics unlocked, which is Uncle Shagsworth. I think I got that because of the beta a long time ago. And we'll just go with Shaggy standard. Now, each of the characters have their own respective classes. Shaggy's a detective. Joker would be a villain, for example. I think there also is a secondary genre, which Joker would be considered a DC character. Scooby or Shaggy and Velma, I believe they would be considered Scooby-Doo characters. I don't think it's Hanna-Barbera, which I thought they originally were. But we'll just go ahead and jump in. And this will give us an idea of the performance. Now, we do have Velma with us. That's just because it's computer controlled. And then obviously we're playing against the computer when we're playing against the gremlin himself. I think it's Stripe, the gremlin. So, take a look here at what we've got. Essentially, we're running max on both. We have, and I'll try to play just a little bit with both hands. A lot of my moves will be very similar if I can even do any of them. Your Y is your strong. Whoop, whoop. Make sure you fall off on that one. Let's see if we can't do it again. A little bit of a drop on the 90 frames per second. Not much. If you really want to toy around with it, I think you can get locked in. But if you really take a look at your watt usage, that's a big thing. The LCD is actually running less, which has been an uncommon thing for all of the different games that I show in the comparisons. Let's see here. I'm not doing well. Velma's carrying the group. Okay, get off over here. There we go. I would like to... This is not easy to do. Okay, he's going this way. There we go. I'd like to get through the match, so I may have to do like one at a time. Just keep your eyes on each screen. Oh, there we go. I don't believe the OLED is running in HDR, so I think essentially it's just standard versus LCD standard. There's no OLED HDR running at this point in time. But yeah, the OLED is definitely using more power to run the game, and that's probably because of the 90 frames per second. If we were to, I don't think there's an option to limit, so it's going to use more. It's actually going to be probably more comparable in terms of battery usage, because the OLED's going to utilize a little bit more, and it's going to make it use the battery faster, even with the expanded battery, where the LCD is getting a little bit of a benefit here. Hey, we did win, about the same time too, good. You can even see, it'll start to go back down though, when there's nothing really being pulled on it. Oops, let's go ahead and click through this and through this. Some things, obviously, there's unlockables that you can do after each match if you meet the requirements. Go ahead and hit next. And then, yeah, it kind of bounces around a little bit. Now, we are seeing the LCD picking up a little bit more in the FPS category, or a little bit less in the FPS, a little bit more battery usage right now. Up here, 90. I believe this is because the fan is heavily running and is trying to cool itself on the LCD. Because again, as I said, the LCD tends to heat up faster. And I know there's been a few folks that have said, well, it's because they're so close together. That's potentially one of the reasons. It's also because it's close to this mat, and it's, you know, the airflow is not as good going in. But the LCD, if it's laying on the mat by itself, not being restricted in terms of outward flow of the exhaust, will still heat up faster than the OLED. So that's something of note. I meant to bring that up in one of these videos so you would know. But you can kind of see where we're at. Now, again, it's cooled down. Everything's went back down. It's going at the 60 frames per second. Up here, it's still 90. I don't believe, let's take one quick look before we end the video. Yeah, no HDR. And I don't believe there's a way to limit. Oh, I think we've got to get out of this first. Hang tight. I don't believe there's a way to limit our FPS. If there is, I didn't notice it before. So let's jump in, take a quick look. Vertical sync, no, that would keep it just in line with what the refresh rate is, so that's not going to do it. Let's go all the way down. Dynamic resolution you could run, but we don't have to because we've got plenty of power on that. Yeah, I don't believe that there's any way to limit the FPS on the device. So yes, in this case, playing online, playing Rifts, playing all of that, the OLED will get about the same amount of time as the LCD because the LCD runs at 60 FPS, where the OLED's going to run at 90, and it's going to use more battery. So interesting case for this game, but it is a little bit of thing to note, but both of them run at their max frame rate with the medium settings basically, and overall it's a good experience. I've actually been able to play online with the OLED. I played it mostly because that's the one I use all the time. I played online, had no issues with connection. Probably there's some latency in there. There's going to be latency with mine because of Starlink, but it seems like, I believe they're using netcode. It believes like that's I believe it's handling everything fine if that's the case, because I haven't noticed any issues. And overall, I think my win rate has been somewhere in the, oh, I think I'm down here right now. I think it's somewhere in the 72 wins, so 45.5%. I mean, I'm not amazing at these games, but that's not too bad playing on the Steam Deck. I haven't felt like I've been at a disadvantage. So appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you so much as always. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Come and vote in the daily polls that I put up for the weekly factor, so you can see what games you want to see on that show, direct capture from these devices and the Legion Go. Also, if you could do me a favor, click that like button below. It should be lighting up. I believe it does that now for some reason when you say click the like button. And also leave a comment on here which character you like the most out of MultiVersus, and if you've tried the game already. If you haven't, Again, the link will be down below. Goes directly to the Steam page, and it's a free download. Give it a try. It's a fun little game. Thanks again, folks. Appreciate it. Have a great day.